All right, so we are live. Putting on some lotion on my face. Freaking camera so crispy. You can see how dry my skin was.
All right, let me get this up. Got it. You added some stuff. We're ready to go.
Yeah, we're good to go. And we're live.
Beautiful.
Bro, the freaking injuries. Like, there's still injuries I'm waiting on. I'm still waiting on. And, whatchamacallit?
Fantasy football's stupid.
Why you say that?
It's just stupid. I think they need 2-week finals for every 2-week playoffs for every league.
Why? Like, just shorten it?
Because
You're saying?
I get like I had two 13-1 teams. They just just nothing. 12-2, 13-1. You lose in one in the semifinals, you get nothing for your efforts. It's so stupid.
True. Thankfully, this one league I'm in third place get something. So I got one more week to possibly basically like get my money back for freaking 17 weeks of waiver wire.
Exactly. Fucking hell, man. All right,
bro,
let me just pull this up.
Josh Jacobs boned me, and the dude I played had Zamir White. Not that would have been the only thing.
I got Ethan in the final of our league.
Nice. That's cool.
It's like the one league I literally like so stupid. I don't even win any money because I took in the money 4 months ago. It's like I'm either gonna lose 1,000 or I'm gonna lose 2,500. It's like this sucks. It's not like I kept that money in a secure account. It's just my money. You know what I mean?
Put on
It's
the
all,
side. It was just
all the
floating
same.
in with.
Right, it's all the fucking same. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, some people definitely got to put it aside because like they wouldn't have it to just put it back out
for
in
sure.
4 months. You know what I mean?
I wish that was my scenario now.
Maybe
all right,
we'll
we're ready.
Out a little bit better. All right, yeah, let's run it.
Week 17, baby. Nick and Bean pod. We are back. Fantasy championships. Christmas in the book. New Year's on the horizon. Nick, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling really good. A little disoriented. Woke up. It's like, whoa, we have football today? Not just because today, but like we start this week on a Tuesday, short week. You're drinking Monday night with the family,
I mean, this week is not even a real week. This isn't real life. I don't know how some people are really going back to work. I mean, I'm working a little bit from my computer and emails and calls, but I can't imagine going into an office this week. This week feels it's just like the Halo zone. I don't know. I'm not fully
right.
there.
You would think it's bad, but it's really not even that bad because everyone going into work is like, it's kind of like unspoken word. Like we're not doing anything. Like we're here,
Yeah, exactly.
But we're not here.
Everyone's on the same page here. So,
all right. I mean?
Best sponsors in the business. Nick's using it right now. I will be using it in T- whenever we finish this podcast. Diet Smoke, dietsmoke.com, Delta 8, Delta 9, THC, CBD. Everything you could imagine, anything you could want in your life can be achieved on dietsmoke.com. Vapes, gummies, pens, whatever the hell you need, they have it. They're incredible. Code Nick and Bean 20% off. Doesn't matter though. It's so well priced. You don't even need the code. It's incredible stuff. Please go check it out. We love it. We use it. So it's not like we're just reading regular sponsors here. We love this stuff. All right. Nick, you got anything else to add or does that cover it pretty much?
They got sodas too. I always like to add that.
Oh, the sodas are so good. Lemon lime. Oh, so good. Delicious. All right. Recap. Fantasy football is just annoying, Nick. I was just venting to you before the pod. You have teams that are 13-1, 12-2. You're dominating the league. And in 1 week, all your hopes and dreams can be taken from you. Either way, I am in 2 finals. I lost 3 of my teams in the semifinals. I know you got, what do you have left? You got a 3rd place you're fighting for?
Yeah, so I lost in the semis of one league. That league is interesting. The tattoo league, they have 8 guys go to the playoff. So the first seed and the second seed, there's no buys. And guess what happened to them first round?
Yeah, they lose.
They
It's
lost.
stupid.
They
I know.
lost.
Fucking game. It's the game we play, though. Now,
Yeah.
on the other hand, betting wise, I am scorching hot. You laughed at the Giants last week. That was the easiest cover of all time. They almost won that game. You laughed at the Lions blew out. Who was it? Who'd they play? Broncos, maybe? Whoever it was Saturday night, the Lions blew them out. 2-0 on the week. 4-0-1 in my last 5, 22, 17, and 2 on the year. Nick, would you split 1-1 this week?
Yeah, so I went 1-1 on official releases, and then one. So they played the Vikings, and then I went 1-0 on IG releases. If you're following us on the gram, we had an over on the Ravens.
I saw that you had the over Ravens Niners. You went against the primetime Monday night unders, and you won. Great game that was, by the way.
Yeah.
We do also have a prop god, 2 prop god picks tonight. He hasn't been on the show. Still the most, ridiculously winning gambler ever. I think his record, he's like, I don't even know, 14-6, something crazy. Either way, though, how was your Christmas, Nick? All good? Family's all good?
It was good, man. It was fun. So went to my aunt's house for Christmas Eve, had dinner over there, and then Christmas actually had some family over at my place.
Nice. We're up in North Carolina. It was a great time. The whole family came down with COVID the day after, but I'm somehow negative. I don't understand. I'm fighting it right now. I'm probably popping up positive any day, but either way, we're fighting the good fight right now. We got a Dolphins win on Christmas as well, which was great. Beat the Cowboys. Or was it Christmas Eve?
Hey, Christmas Eve. But
Christmas Eve.
But I
great
think that was like a hell of a
over 500 team, and look what we did.
That's what I'm saying. And in the fashion we did it, end of the game, drive the field, get the field goal, like that's what you want. I think that's going to put some confidence in that team, like kind of closing this year.
It was a nice gritty win. Let's get into it. Impact players from last week. Let's start on Thursday night. This guy was on one of my teams in the fantasy football semifinals. He went absolutely bananas. Puka Nacua, probably the offensive rookie of the year, unless Stroud goes absolutely nuts. I'll ask you about that in a second. 9 for 164 and a score. He also had some rushing yards. Give you his stats for the year for a 5th-round rookie. 96 catches, 1,327 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Guy's incredible, man.
Yeah, I don't think they knew that. I don't know who knew what he was going to be.
Nobody did.
For real.
Yeah.
Did you pick him up on the waiver wires? Like, there's no way you draft him. Did you draft him?
Yeah, he wasn't drafted in any redraft leagues. He was, I think, the first week of waiver wires. He was, bid on, and whoever did was smart because he's been solid pretty much all year. A couple down weeks, but he's been great. Rookie of the year wise, CJ Stroud's missed the last couple. He was incredible, but with these stats and what Puka's doing, I don't think you can deny him unless maybe Stroud comes back this week, wins the last 2, leads them into the playoffs. Do you think Puka's got it locked up?
I think Puka's got it locked up, to be honest with you. I don't think Stroud's even going to I think there's a chance Stroud doesn't play. What does it mean when they say, like, are there different stages of the concussion protocol that you have to go through?
He's playing this week, I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
I think he's on – I don't know if, like, stage 4 was a bad thing or a good thing when they're talking, like, concussion protocol.
I think it was good, but, yeah, I know. The whole concussion thing is just – it's confusing, and it's probably confusing for the guys who are concussed too, to be honest. They're like, where are we? What stage? All right. Second impact player rising from the dead. Joe Flacco, 360, 300. They're about to kick off in a half an hour. 368 yards, 3 touchdowns. Amari Cooper set the record for Browns receivers with 11 for 265 and 2 scores. Funny enough, Amari Cooper just ruled out. If you are listening live, if you're in the chat and you got him playing in fantasy, pull him out. He's not going to be playing. How is Flacco doing this, Nick? Where did this come from?
Joe, cool, man. I mean, he's always been a consummate professional. I think he could have done this on like any team for a number of years, and that's how he was still backing up in the league, because he could be decent. You know what I mean? And they just put him on a team with a great defense, and he's just,
and they're like, just go throw it as many times as you want and throw it as far as you can. And if you get picked off or whatever, the defense will just back you up.
He's like, screw it. I want to see if there's any good props on wide receivers for the Browns.
So I did right when I got that news, I snuck in Elijah Moore over 2.5 catches.
That's what I'm
It's a
looking for.
revenge game for him as well,
Yep.
going against those Jets. But go take a look, see what you can find. I'm going to move on to our last impact player, and this guy. I'm going to paint you a picture. You remember that guy Brock Purdy, who everyone was he was going to be the MVP last week, Nick?
Yeah.
You remember that guy?
Yeah. What about Purdy?
He was minus 200 to be the MVP going into Monday night. Right after the game, he was 19-1. We've never seen a swing in a line like that ever. Lamar Jackson is our last impact player. What a performance. He moves to minus 200 for the MVP. 252 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 45 yards rushing. Nick, throw the stats out. This guy is controlling every football game. He's in control. He looks incredible. He's probably going to be the MVP. The Ravens are probably going to be the 1 seed unless we can beat them this week. I mean, what is there else to say about Lamar? He's incredible, man.
Yeah, he's honestly just been like a stud all year. And about maybe 4 games in the season from then on, he's just been doing so well. Really happy to see him doing it, honestly, although it's going to be against us as he's picking up the number 1 seed. Purdy, though, the thing with Purdy, I've never heard anything outrageous like that before in my life. A line swing like that because of 1 game. I think that's a huge overreaction, to be honest. I don't think that value's possible. Even if
the thing with Lamar, back to Lamar for a sec,
yeah,
and then I'll give my thoughts on Purdy. The thing with Lamar this year is I think he was kind of under the radar with how good he's been playing because he's not putting up those crazy stats. The defense is good. He's more controlling the game. Everyone wants to look at the fantasy football. He hasn't been great for fantasy football. It's not 2019 Lamar where he's, putting up these crazy stats, but he's made that switch where it doesn't matter. He just wants to win the games. He's making the right plays. He really made that San Fran defense look mediocre, and we know they're a solid defense. So shout out to him. Ravens are a juggernaut. Obviously, we'll talk about Ravens-Dolphins here in a second in marquee matchups. Purdy, thank God. Go home. You maybe sit out the rest of the season. Maybe let Darnold take it. They'll go just as far with Darnold as they would with you little duck. Now, here's my thing, because I got a big ticket on Christian McCaffrey to win MVP. This is my scenario. Purdy maybe sits this game, or they just let McCaffrey do the work. He has a huge game, and the Dolphins disrupt Lamar. We beat Lamar, and maybe McCaffrey can win the MVP. It's a slight possibility. He's sitting at 4-1 right now.
I'm not going to say there's no chance. So there's a chance, right? But
little chance.
There's definitely a chance. But I mean, I think that game also showed how important Purdy was to that offense, because when he has a shit game, look what happened to the 49ers. They
when the quarterback throws an interception every time he drops back, it's probably not going to be good. I mean, he looked, but you saw it though. If he's down, you don't want Brock Purdy trying to lead a comeback down 3 touchdowns, down 2 scores or whatever it was.
He was shook. He was not right pretty early on.
And he got, they hit him on the arm. He got another stinger on that arm. So who knows what, if he was a little bit hurt, whatever. Either way, love to see Purdy struggle. On to marquee matchups, Nick. We got a big week in the NFL. The NFL scheduling, though, this week is an absolute catastrophe. Did you see it? We've got a Thursday night game. Monday night football is being played on Saturday night. So 1 Saturday night game. Now,
I know we have a Saturday night game. We don't have a Monday night game, though?
No Monday night, because it's New Year's Day and it's the college football playoff. So Sunday, though, they've got 10 1 o'clock games and 3 4 o'clock games. What are we doing?
One of those 1 o'clock games.
How can you have 10 1 o'clock games? We can't even keep up.
We got the number 1 and the number 2 AFC team buried in 10 1 o'clock games.
Exactly. That should have been
Can y'all flex that? We had the Jets primetime like 16 times.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. Now, let's get into it. Starting with that Saturday night game. Now, you can correct me if the lines, have moved. I did these earlier today. Either way, we've got a great game on Saturday night. Detroit Lions traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys -6. Biggest over-under of the week by far, 53.5. Is it still -6, Nick?
It's 5.5.
5.5. All right, you're seeing a little Lions money come in.
the over-under shifted all the way to 52, which is weird. That's a
50,
point and a
well,
half.
53.5 was such a big number. So
That's huge.
I'm not surprised to see it shift. Now,
Pause.
give me your thoughts on this game, Nick. A great game. Two teams that are, at the top of the NFC. What are your thoughts here?
I think we're going to have some scoring for sure. I was looking into it, and the Lions defense, although they're highly ranked, they're 23rd in the league in passing yards allowed per game. I think they're allowing I forget the exact number. I think it's 230 something or 260 something. I think it's 266 on the road, 190 something at home, 233 overall, something like that. They're gonna get smoked by the Dallas Cowboys. I couldn't bet 5.5. I would have. I don't know if I could lean under at 52. That's such a high total, but hopefully Goff can get his in against the Dallas Cowboys tight defensive line. We'll see. I mean, he has that strong offensive line. Their run game's been good all year as well, Detroit. And Dallas has been susceptible against the run. They got beat up by Miami. They got beat up by Buffalo. So I think Detroit will have some offensive success as well. But yeah, Dallas. I think Dallas gonna just ram it down their throats and have way too much success over the air. And then they got Pollard on the ground, and they'll be fine.
Here's my thoughts on this game. If you like Dallas, the 5.5 should be easy. Whenever they play well, they blow teams out. So I wouldn't sweat it. If you like Dallas, take Dallas. I would not take Dallas. Dan Campbell always gets guys up for these games. They're retiring Jimmy Johnson's. They're putting him in the rafters at half. You got Troy Aikman on the call. It's a celebration in Dallas. Guess what? Detroit loves to play spoiler, all right? They did it opening night in Kansas City. They beat the Chiefs. They love it. Campbell can motivate these guys. I know they don't have too much to play for. They're kind of locked into their number one. They won the NFC North. They're kind of locked in. But guess what? Campbell, they don't take games off, okay? Remember week 18 last year? They had nothing to play for, and they spoiled Green Bay's season. So if it's me, I'm leaning Detroit plus the points. But if you're set on Dallas, don't let the points scare you because usually they blow teams out when they win.
That's an angle I hadn't really thought of, but because I was thinking Detroit last week won the division for the first time in 30 years. They had the podium. I was thinking the other angle. I was like, they're real high. They're going to be overlooking that they're locked in. But when you say it like that, I don't know if Dan Campbell taking a week off, to be honest with you. It's like Harbaugh preseason type shit.
And that's the beauty. There's two sides to every story. Let's get into the game of the week. The Miami Dolphins traveling to Baltimore, number 1 and 2 teams in the AFC. Baltimore -3 is what I saw, over under 47. I believe that line's held at 3. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets to 3.5, though.
It has held at 3, 46.5 on the over under.
Beautiful. I'm going to give you my thoughts, then I'll let you dive into the stats.
Yeah.
Huge win for Tommy's in the building. Tommy, congrats on the baby. Tommy's
congrats,
a new father.
Tommy.
First Christmas with the kid, little Benny doing his thing. We're back. And so here's the thing. Huge game for the Dolphins. We won a gritty, grinded out game against a really good team in the Cowboys. We needed that. Now, Jalen Waddle gets hurt every game. It looks like this high ankle may hold him out till the playoffs. So congrats, Jen. Let's go. Congrats, Tommy. So here's my thinking, Nick. This is a tough game for us. We're going to have to win this game. If we win this game, it's going to be similar score to that Cowboys game, like a 21-20, 21-17. The Ravens are playing perfect football. They've never been higher. The Dolphins finally beat a good team. This game, here we go. Hold on. Tommy's got a pick. I'm going to give it in a second. I'm going to give Tommy's pick from his son who's 10 days old, 20 days old. I'm going to give that after we finish this game. But I can't wait to watch
it's this. Moved. Ben, the line's moved. Anyways, but get started.
Ben's a sharp. All right, we'll talk about it in a second. Either way, obviously, I don't bet on the Dolphins. If I was a betting man, though, I'd probably have to lean Ravens with how good they're playing. Let's just hope, Nick, that it's one of those situations where they're so high and they can't do any wrong. They beat the best team in football, the Niners, on Monday Night Football. Let's hope it's like a down spot for them. We did go in there last year and beat them in Baltimore, so it's tough to, they're not overlooking any game here, obviously, with us being the 2 seed. But it's going to be a great one. Give me your stats. Give me your thoughts. What are you thinking here?
Yeah. So Miami's run defense is top 5, allowing less than 100 yards per game. And that's what Lamar's been doing well. Lamar and the team has been doing well, not just him solely. And we're top 5 overall defense. The Ravens, on the other hand, I believe they're top 12 against the run. They're top 6 against the pass. So I think they're a little susceptible against our guys like Raheem Mostert. I think they're going to get it busy. Dolphins, though, looking injured. Dolphins got a lot of guys on both sides of the ball on the injury report. That's going to be tough to overcome, and it's the Ravens in Baltimore, with you having the Bills at home next week, which could be for the division depending on how things shake out this week. So interested to see how those play out. I would not bet the Ravens -3 at home against the Miami Dolphins, though.
As a Dolphins fan, I know there's a lot of games at 1 o'clock, but I'm kind of happy it's stuffed in that 1 o'clock slate, so we're not like in prime time in case we get whooped. It's kind of nice that we're stuck into that.
It could be like 50-0.
Yeah, exactly.
I would probably, if I had to bet something in the game, I would bet under. That's what I bet.
Okay, I like it. All right, we got 3 more games. Let's run through them. The next one, big division implications in the NFC South. I believe it's the NFC South. New Orleans at Tampa. Tampa -2.5. Over under is 42.5. Can Baker and the Bucs keep this up, Nick?
They seem to always beat New Orleans Saints, honestly. Derek Carr, who knows what he's going to do in the red zone. I like the Saints in a teaser. I think the Bucs win this game, though. That would be
got it. All right, I actually lean the Saints as well. I just think the Bucs have been too good. It can't keep going. Marshawn Lattimore usually shuts down Mike Evans, who's been absolutely unstoppable. So I would lean Saints, but I am staying away from
Lattimore even plays. I'm not sure Lattimore is playing. He might be hurt. Lattimore might be hurt.
If Lattimore's not playing, I'll take the Bucs. If Lattimore is playing, I'll take the Saints. Okay. All right. Before we get to the next game, I forgot. Tommy's son, 20 days old, maybe 23 days old. He's leaning Houston -4.5. What's that line move to, Nick?
5.5.
Oh, okay. So Ben's a sharp. He's got big money. You know, once he puts out, he probably put this out on a different show. So once he put that out, the line moved.
Exactly.
2 more games. Steelers at Seahawks. Seahawks are -3.5. Over under is 41. Nick says if we're lucky, this game won't come on our TVs. Both teams have to win to have a chance at the playoffs. I will tell you this game still sucks, even with the here we go. Let's see. Lattimore not expected to return?
Yeah, not expected. Let's just confirm the date this was put out.
They're probably dead then.
2 days ago. Yeah, they're dead.
You got anything on the Seahawks Steelers game or no?
No, that game's gonna be so tough. They're both like 8-7 sneakily though. They're both gonna probably at least one of those teams is gonna be in the playoffs, and neither of those teams are good. It's gonna be like Mason Rudolph quarterbacking on a playoff team. I don't know.
A lot of sharp money and big money are taking the Steelers at 3.5. So if you want to be on the sharp side, I'd lean that. Last game we're going to talk about before we get into our bets. Somehow this Raiders team, man, Antonio Pierce is either the greatest coach ever, or they just hated Josh McDaniels, because what a win on Christmas against the Chiefs. Yeah. They're at Indianapolis. The Raiders have a slight chance at the playoffs. Indianapolis can basically clinch, I believe, if they win. They are -3.5. The over-under is 43.5. Nick, give me your stats on this one. Give me your thoughts.
3.5 would be way too many points for me to take. If we're talking about emotional wins, the Raiders basically just won the Super Bowl, and you're asking them to come back and play again.
You're so right. That was their Super Bowl.
I don't know. I think the train is coming to a halt. I don't know whether they cover or not, but I don't think they win this game. I don't think they have a shot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I actually would lean Raiders again. I mean, there's a lot of money on them, but to get over a field goal with how good they're playing, it's not like the Colts. I mean, the Colts played terrible last week. So, what? My brain just hit it, Nick.
That's why you bet the Colts.
Look like shit. The Colts look like shit. The Raiders have never looked better, and the Colts are still minus 3.5. The Colts are
That's why
probably
you gotta bet the Colts.
you got to bet
I
the
think
Colts.
we both ride it.
I might ride it. We won't add it to our we can do that. Could be a pod
That IG
realization
always,
pick, a separate pick.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, let's get into pod picks now. 4-0-1 in my last 5, 2-0 last week. I mean, absolutely phenomenal run. Before we do that, though, the prop god is feeling it. He couldn't make it tonight. Obviously, holidays are a tough time. We don't expect everyone to have the work ethic and the dedication that Nick and I have on our own show. Okay. We'll come. I'm sitting in the laundry room. We will come to you Thursday night, no matter what. Now, prop god, though, it don't matter if he's here. He's still the greatest gambler in the history of the world. 2 picks. 2 kicker picks, baby. Exactly what we need to make money this weekend. Jason Myers and Harrison Butker. Over 1.5 field goals each. Back to his bread and butter. Nobody does it better. Jason Myers, Harrison Butker. Nick, let's get to us. Because, listen, 2-0 last week, 4-0-1, 22-17-2 on the year. Pretty damn good, not going to lie. I love these 2 plays this week. They're either both going to hit easy or they're both going to lose. The first one. Only a team like this starts looking incredible once their season's pretty much over. And the Chicago Bears, it's not just Justin Fields coming back and playing great. Their defense looks awesome, okay? They're playing the Falcons at home, a dome team coming to probably a pretty cold weather game, Soldier Field, Justin Fields playing for his life, basically. They look awesome. Give me the Bears -3. I love this pick. I love it a little bit too much. I think the money was pretty split down the middle. Yeah, there was more of the bets on Chicago by a little bit more of the money on Atlanta. So it's pretty even on that end. I love the Bears, though. Like I said, my 2 picks are either going to really hit this week or they're both going to get killed. But I love the Bears. Give me your pick, Nick.
I've got 1 pick only, one and only, but we're going to release a couple on the IG. So stay tuned. All right. But so for my only pick, what I've got is Green Bay. Either take the 1 point they're giving, or you can take the money line. They're plus 100 on the money line. They're playing against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's running out whoever at quarterback.
Darren Hall.
Yeah, whoever he is. Their defense. I think honestly, the Green Bay Packers, their defense is trash, but their offense is honestly the best unit probably in the game out of the 2. And yeah, so I believe they just dominate this game and they got this.
So that game is going to come down to how Love handles the blitz, because all Brian Flores is going to do is just blitz. And if Love can get it out to his weapons, they're going to kill the Vikings. I don't know. The Vikings are probably tanking a little bit by starting Jaren Hall because Nick Mullins was not that bad last week and they almost came back and beat the Lions. Now, yeah, that's a tough game. I'm surprised that's your pick. That's the last game of the week. That's the Sunday night game. But as you know, you'll probably have a couple more plays on IG, and that's where you're best. Usually you hit all your IG plays, so I don't blame you. Now,
you never know. There's a lot of teasers.
3 days left. This is my game of the year, Nick. This is my favorite pick of the entire year. I've been waiting for this moment all year, okay?
Wow.
Russell Wilson is dead. He's done. He's gone. He is sayonara. They're cutting him after the season. They're benching him. He's done. He's absolutely done. He'll be in the CFL next year. Nobody cares about him, okay? Listen.
They're cutting him?
It's already announced. I know it's the holidays. It's tough. They already announced they're parting ways after the season. He's gone. Don't feel bad for him. He's got hundreds of millions and he's married to Sierra. He just sucks at football now, okay? Jared Stidham ain't that bad. Give Sean Payton the ropes now. This defense is solid. Give me Jared Stidham. They're laying 3.5 against Easton Stick at home. And guess what? The money is on Easton Stick, 60%. I expect that number to climb. -3.5 in Denver. They're going to win by 30, Nick. This game is going to be an absolute blowout. Absolute blowout. The Chargers last week, there's so many things working for us. The Chargers last week, they had the new coach theory. They played great. They barely lost to Buffalo. They covered. They did awesome. All right. Easton Stick played the game of his life. Russ is dead here. They are going to come into Denver, mile high, cold game, and get schmacked. This is an absolute blowout, Nick. This game will be 31-6. and you're going to be covering the whole game. And like I said before, it's my game of the year. Now, Chicago and Denver, they're either going to be easy winners or somehow my luck's going to turn around and we're going to lose. But I am hammering both these games. You are on the Packers, which is the last game of the week, Sunday night. You'll also have more plays on the IG. You got anything else, or can we ride, get back to this holiday festivities we got going on? We good?
Enjoy the holiday, watch some TV, enjoy the football, baby.
We love you all. Peace.
Peace.
Send it.